is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today is NFL Beast Conference Championship game for the NFL.
B-E-A-S-T, Beast?
Yeah, Beast, your thing. Joining me once again, the Raid 48 with his beverage.
Just soft?
Yes, so it's the Conference Championship game. AFC and NFC Championship games are here. A lot of epic matches.
I wish I would have gone with my gut feeling.
Of what?
I did tell you last week that Washington had a chance.
Yeah, did. We did.
I didn't call it.
We did clip it, but you still kept with the Lions.
I did keep with the Lions. But I told you, don't be shocked if Washington won. And they did.
Yeah.
And now here we are, Washington and Philadelphia.
And because of that, the Detroit Lions will remain Super Bowl-less for another year. And they haven't won anything since before the Super Bowl even existed.
Well, I mean, if you believe in the Jim Kelly curse, there's an easy answer to the NFC this week.
I don't buy that. I think that's all coincidence, and they're kind of making it up the rule for themselves for that statistic to work.
Well,
but nonetheless, it's the conference championship game, and it's two interesting matchups. One obviously has happened before, and the other is a division rival in itself. So, it's a pretty good, I think, balance here. With that being said, the first one is the Washington Commanders-Redskins at the Philadelphia Eagles.
the Eagles are a 6-point favorite.
And it is a 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game on Fox. Philadelphia Eagles are back. Hurts is still on the injured report, but he's going to definitely play.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah. But, you know, I look at this game. Everyone's looking at the stats for Hurts and the stats for Allen because they're very quite similar. And I look at this and I look at the factors here for this game. And I look at it more as Hurts, as long as he plays okay in this game, and you have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. I don't know how Washington's going to be able to contain it. They are a young team, and you know, this is the first full season under the Josh Harris era. So, you know, the sky's the limit for them. The fact that they're already in the NFC Championship game is amazing. They got away from the Dan Snyder curse because he is the reason why they haven't made anywhere since the past 24 years. That's the only thing that proves this. But nonetheless, I think still Jalen
Hurts? Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels, yeah. Jaden Daniels is still a rookie. He's still young. Despite how good he played against the Lions, Eagles got the home field, and I don't know what the weather's going to be over there, but the weather's any indication from last week, I just don't see how Washington gets it done here. There's going to probably be a lot of mental mistakes that are going to come up, especially since they're division rival. They played him twice already. The last game they played, Hurts missed the whole game with a concussion, and arguably probably don't win that game if it hadn't been for the Eagle guy, one of the Eagle receivers on third down, missed a wide open catch.
He didn't miss that whole game.
Yeah, he went
out in the game.
He went out in the game.
Yeah, he didn't miss the whole game.
Yeah, but it was in the beginning of the game.
It was in like the second quarter, dude.
It was?
I'm pretty sure
I thought it was early.
I'm pretty sure Hurts got quite a bit of playing time in that.
Oh, well, still, I mean, it's still kind of early in the game, though, regardless. And the game kind of changed when he was not in there. And even then, the Eagles almost won the game if it hadn't been for the receiver dropping the ball. He dropped the ball.
Oh, I guess it was in the first quarter.
That's what I thought. I thought it was in the first quarter. But he dropped the ball, a wide open catch, And if he gets that first down and the game's over, Washington don't get the ball back and they don't get that game-winning touchdown. So I look at this. The Eagles know this team. You got Saquon Barkley, who's running wild, and I think the Eagles get it done. I think you're going to have sparks of Washington looking good to keep it very competitive, but in the end, when we get down to the second half and you get down to the fourth quarter, that's where you're going to see the Eagles really kind of grind it out and eke it out. I'm going to say we're going to give the Eagles 31 here, and I'm going to give Washington 21 for the Eagles to get this done here.
Give me the history, baby. First rookie starting quarterback in the Super Bowl era in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl era would be
In a Super Bowl.
well, because if you go before the Super Bowl, there were rookies that got in the championship game.
Well, I mean, obviously, whatever year you started the NFL, you have a rookie in the championship. So,
Well, no, I'm just talking about before the Super Bowl.
but that would still be a factor as well.
Yeah.
Listen,
The closest in the Super Bowl era would have been your guy, Big Ben. The Steelers.
it was the second year.
No, it was a championship game. In 2004, he lost to the Patriots.
That's right. That was the year that they knocked Buffalo out of contention.
Yeah.
And then he won in 2005.
Well, technically, it was his backups that knocked out of contention. They didn't Ben play that game. Yeah.
I think he had a snap. I think he might have had a drive. It was mainly Tommy Maddox and Brian St. Pierre, though.
Yeah.
But, listen, Philadelphia, at home, mightily struggled with the Rams. And that, to me, is a problem. You and I have said how many times we don't think the Rams are good. The Rams almost knocked them out last week.
They did, but...
And...
The defense still played good, though.
But here's the thing. So Saquon went for 150 that game.
Yep.
With probably his lowest yard per carry average.
2 home run hits in that. For 2 breakaway touchdowns.
What, in the last game?
In the last game, yeah. He hit 2 breakaway touchdowns.
Which is even worse. Because if you can limit him and spy him, if he doesn't have 2 breakaway touchdowns in the Washington game,
You think?
Frank, he had only 150 yards total.
Okay.
You're talking the Commanders game, right? Not
I
last
thought you were talking about last week.
No. So
Last week he had 2 big hits.
He did. You're right.
Yeah.
The Commanders game,
You're talking about the last one?
Yes,
or the first one?
the last one. His longest was 68 yards. So again, he had a home run hit, touchdown, and he only averaged 5.2 on the ground. That's not Saquon numbers. His numbers have been up over like 7 almost all year. He's been that good. So, yes, I know you can say what you want. Well, Kenny Pickett came in. Guess what? They didn't really run the ball with him when Jalen Hurts was there. When Jalen Hurts was healthy, the two drives he was up, Jalen Hurts did all the work. One for 4 for 11 yards and 3 rushes for 41 yards.
Do we also have a weather report for that, too?
I can pull that up in a second.
That could be a factor,
Listen,
too.
I don't trust... You want to talk about not trusting the rookie and not trusting what you've got.
I'm not saying that he isn't going to be good.
Okay, but I'm saying the opposite side.
Yeah.
If Jaden Daniels scorched 5 touchdowns on them...
Well, yeah, then he's probably going to win if they throw 5
But
touchdowns.
he did the last game, and he still played all the starters.
I just don't think the odds of that happening again, are, especially when you play 3 times a year.
I'm just saying, they're 1-1 this year.
1-1, you're right.
Someone's got to win. I'm going with Jaden Daniels because the benefit he has is he's throwing against 2 guys his age. Yes, he's a rookie quarterback, but he's throwing against the 2 starting cornerbacks that are both rookies. Actually, 1 because Quinyon Mitchell's going to miss the game. Yeah. So, and Quinyon Mitchell's been what's been talented there. I'm going with Philadelphia, or I'm going with Washington 31, Philadelphia 27. It's a close game.
Yeah, I was close to 31-21, but
Philadelphia's weather for Sunday.
Because I think that's going to be a factor too with Philadelphia.
They're fine.
It's going to be sunny out?
It's cloudy and 38. It's the warmest day of the week.
Oh, okay, well, maybe not this time. I will say last week's game was so cool because it was like, it started fine out, and then like a couple minutes into the game, it started sprinkling snow, and then a couple minutes later, it started being thick snow.
Kansas City is supposed to be 35.
Yeah. Right before halftime, you could see white. And then once halftime broke, it was just all over the place. That was just so great seeing that happen like in real time during the game.
And because of that, Frank's going to go take over Don Paul's job and become a meteorologist.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can do that. But
well, I mean, sure you could. Anybody could. Ruby could. That's all meteorologists do is guess. Go to school and get to have a chance to guess. You're wrong 50% of the time, and you still keep your job.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. What do you think are going to be the factor stats here?
You mean like
like what we did last week? Stats and predictions here.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Alameda Zachius to have the game he had the last time. Give me 2 touchdowns and over 80 yards from Alameda Zachius. He did it against Eagles first time, running out of the slot. They're going to try to exploit the same matchup they had the first time. And the big one, they're going to hold Saquon under 90 yards. If you're good... listen, that was my big one that I had with Buffalo last week. You got to hold Derrick Henry under 100. What did he have?
I think he said he had 86.
Bingo.
Yeah.
If you want to win, you're going to have to shut him down. Realistically. I don't care how good A.J. Brown is. If you have to target A.J. Brown, which last week, if you watched A.J. Brown's stats, how bad were they?
They weren't good. I think did he have like only 2 catches?
Yeah, but at one point, there were 9 targets for 1 catch. I think it was the 10th target he got a second catch. They were not firing well to A.J. Brown last week, and Devonta Smith coming back
last week either, though. The week before that.
But that's it. Devonta Smith coming back off injury is coming off slow also. Jalen Hurts hasn't looked like the world beater that we know he can be.
Well, yeah, they played soft last week. To be fair, so I can't totally put the blame on them for that, especially because the injury whole bug he had going to that or during the game actually. But we'll see. We'll see what he fires up. I think Saquon Barkley, I think he does the opposite. I think he at least gets over 100 yards rushing in this game.
Well, that's a gimme. He's averaging 130 lately.
Well, yeah, but I think he's good. You said he's going to get under.
I said under 90.
Okay, so that means he's not going to get 100, though.
Still.
I think he will get at least 100, and I think he gets at least 1, if not 2 touchdowns in this game as well, like he did in the last game. Another factor, I think Hurts throws at least 1 touchdown pass in this game. He got, I think, 1 rushing touchdown last week, but that was it. He didn't throw any touchdowns in last week's game. I think Jaden Daniels has 1 interception in this game. I don't know who the player is, but he's gonna get 1 interception in this game.
Come on, we know who the player is if he's gonna do it. It's Cooper DeJean. It's White Lightning.
Yeah. But yeah, those are factors. Who do you think's a better head coach in this? Going in.
It's Sirianni.
Sirianni?
A lot of respect to Dan Quinn, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of respect for Dan Quinn for coming back off of what was just this abysmal time in Atlanta. He's looked. Okay, hold on.
Also,
who's the best head coach in this game? He's not even a head coach. Give me Cliff Kingsbury.
He might be a coach soon.
He will be. They just can't really do much interview-wise, given that he's still alive.
Well, no, because he didn't have the bye, so he can't.
Give me Cliff Kingsbury as... You know where I want to see Cliff Kingsbury go? Draw out your head coach search a little longer. Let me see Cliff Kingsbury to the Jags. Cliff Kingsbury...
I don't think anybody wants that job, so there's a
Why not? Trevor Lawrence was still first overall pick.
From what I've heard, that a lot of people just don't want to go there right now.
I would go to... That's the guy I'm backing a Brinks truck up with to fix Trevor Lawrence.
Hopefully
that's the guy.
Because Jacksonville's got a lot of dysfunction right now.
But they've also got a lot of money.
Yeah, they've got a ton of money
to right the wrongs. You had a quarterback who couldn't get anything going. You have 2 mediocre running backs, and you have an overpaid receiver room. The rookie you just drafted is clearly good. You got the money to fix it. Fix it.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about the NFC Championship game. We have to move to your game now, the AFC Championship game.
You stopped this. I told you. Don't call any of this mine.
It's
a game I will be watching. It's not mine. I don't own it.
That's what I will too. So this is the AFC Championship game, the main event, prime time game here. 6:30.
Let's get ready to fumble.
Rumble.
No, I said fumble.
Oh, I say rumble. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. The Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a 2020 AFC Championship rematch. This is the fourth time that Allen and Mahomes have met each other in the playoffs. One shot.
Okay, yeah, this will be the fourth.
Fourth playoff overall. One shy of Brady and Manning, which had 5 all time, which still surprises me. They only met 5 times in the playoffs, but yeah. So they're like tied with Stabler and Bradshaw right now for second all time.
The Chiefs are a 2-point favorite, and the wildest stat I've got a bunch of stats for you here on this game, Frank. Wildest stat I've seen so far: Josh Allen is 4-1 regular season against the Chiefs.
I know.
He's 0-3 against the Chiefs in the postseason.
Yes.
A game where normally when we talk about the Chiefs, we would be talking about the referees, correct?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to.
Why?
Did you see who was assigned today or this week?
Was it no? It's not Hockley. Hockley's in the other one.
Hockley's in the other. Blakeman.
Blakeman.
Which has been referred to in the past as.
Did he ref the last one for Kansas City?
No. That's a different guy who's 7-0. Clete Blakeman has been referred to as Patrick Mahomes' arch nemesis. No, because out of all the refs in the league, Mahomes' overall record in the Mahomes era, the Chiefs against.
Who gets these stats with the refs?
I looked them up. I actually did my homework on this.
I know, but
they
like actually combine. They actually keep track of all the head referees.
Yes, Pro Football Reference. Pro Football Reference is wonderful. It'll tell you who was the head or what games he was the head of the referee or the linesman coach for. Yes, I looked it up. Since 2017, the Chiefs are an even 6-6. With an average of 6.5 penalties for 55 yards a game. The Bills, since 2018, the start of the Josh Allen era, are 6-2.
I mean, you might as well just say 2018 because Patrick Mahomes didn't actually start.
Incorrect.
Well, he started one game,
and it was the game that he reffed, and that was actually a win. So it's not like we're calling losses. That was a Patrick Mahomes win his rookie year.
Oh wow!
But so if you even take that away, they're 5-6 against him. Since his first 2 meetings with him, they are 4-6. He genuinely does not do well because it seems like he coaches he refs a very clean game. Both teams average about 7 penalties, 55 yards a game. So flags will be thrown, but I don't think it's a copious amount.
Just don't buy the logo theory because that's so stupid.
I don't know what that is.
People actually have a theory on the logo.
Oh, the Super Bowl, yeah.
Super Bowl, it's the logo. It's like the Ravens weren't in the Super Bowl last year, was purple, and did not represent Taylor Swift, by the way. That was just stupid.
No, who else?
They were trying to... No, they tried to say that, the script changed because Taylor Swift started dating. It was
red and purple, wasn't it, last year?
It was red and purple. And they were trying to say that, they changed the script because Swiftie friggin' started dating. I was like,
listen... All I know is, for once as a Bills fan, and I've heard Bills fans that are nervous because we've definitely not gotten great calls in the past, but it seems like on the other end, if he's going to call it the same way with KC, and I've got an even slate with him, I'd rather have the even slate with Clete Blakeman.
For me, I mean, the interesting thing about this is Kansas City still have only scored up to 30 points this entire season. They've not gotten 31 or more.
Doesn't shock me. I think only twice this season. Twice going back to the middle of the 2022-23 season has Patrick Mahomes thrown over 2 touchdowns in a game.
Only 3 times?
Only twice. Midway through 22-23, he stopped, and it took him until middle of October this year to get his first game of it. Let me see if I can find how many. It might only have been once. Let me see if I can get a stat on that one here. Mahomes game logs. So he did it against Pittsburgh. He had 3. He's done it 4 times since November 2nd.
Yeah.
Outside of that, he hadn't thrown over 3 since late 2022.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, it's just...
And the 4 teams he did it against
weren't that good.
2 of which I would say were garbage. 2 of which were... One of which was Buffalo.
Well,
One was Buffalo, and he threw under 200 yards that game, and they beat him. One was the Carolina Panthers, and they almost lost that game. One was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Bucs defense was very bad. And one was the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas for 320 and 3 touchdowns.
And the Steelers were slumping that week.
Sure were.
Sleeping that way. But yeah, I mean, this game to me, the way I see this, it is in Kansas City, but that doesn't mean anything because Buffalo has gone to Kansas City in the regular season. They've beaten them.
And they put tickets on sale, and the Mafia travels well. To my knowledge, a lot of Bills fans got tickets to be in KC this week.
Yeah, I'm looking at this not from a weather standpoint, and I think the way I look at this right now, I think this is the Bills are gonna get this one done. I look at this right now. Kansas City, they're the only team that has lost the Bills this season. They're the only team to actually beat them, really, with the starters, and they've been coming close. Last year they came close. They missed a field goal that would have forced overtime. 13 seconds. The time before that, they have competed against Mahomes. They have competed against the Chiefs. They have looked good in the last 2 playoff games that they've had against them. It's just had unfortunate circumstances that have happened. Yeah, what's up?
I'm trying to remember what the actual statistic was.
For the last?
No. So that if you ever wanted to wonder how close the Bills and Chiefs are, I believe the stat was that through 8 meetings between Mahomes and Allen,
yeah,
the Bills have 4 wins, the Chiefs have 4 wins. Both teams have scored 151 points. Like, to a point, it is even.
Yeah, I look at this game and I look at it as just like this has got to be the Bills' one to win here. I mean, you know, people are looking at they just got past the Ravens, and I'm like, yeah, but they played a different scheme against the Ravens. They're not gonna.
What did I tell you last week on the air? The Ravens were the team that scared me more than looking ahead.
If they get past the Ravens, I mean, the Bills know what the Chiefs do.
The Bills were built to beat the Chiefs.
They were built to beat the Chiefs, and now that they got past the Ravens, this to me should be not as hard as the Ravens. Not saying that it won't be difficult, but it shouldn't be as hard as this one. And I'll say this right now. Here's a bold prediction too. If they get over 31 points, they win this game.
The Bills?
If the Bills get over 31 points in this game, they win the game. Because the Chiefs have only gotten 30 points. They've only gotten 30 points exactly twice this season. Everything else has been under 30 points. So if they get 31, I think this game is over. And the Bills obviously are made to get 40 points. They've done it before. They didn't do it against the Ravens, but the Ravens have a really good defense. So it didn't surprise me. But against the Chiefs, I think they can get it. I think they can do it. And I look at this game, and I see it as a game where it's like, this is the moment. This is kind of like the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady 2006 championship game. It kind of feels like that, where it's going to be one of those type of deals where Allen gets over the hump like Peyton Manning did against Tom Brady.
Let's hope.
And that's what I look at it as. Allen can do a bunch of different things. He's built. He can go to the running back. He's not going to just selfishly give himself a touchdown pass if he thinks they can run it in with either him or one of his running backs. I look at this game and I think it's going to be a nail biter and a shocker. I think it's going to be 38-27. They're going to get a touchdown with like 3 minutes left to close the game out, very similar to the last regular season game. And that's going to be Mahomes will probably throw an interception. We're trying to score again towards the end with like a minute 50 left or something like that. And they will win the game. And the Bills will go to the Super Bowl this year.
So here's one of the biggest
Josh
factors
Bell's
I've got. Granted, yes, they just moved Xavier Worthy to the outside. He's no longer playing slot receiver. But you have to go back 4 Chiefs games to see the last time an outside receiver got over 50 yards. Buffalo did a great job knowing that Baltimore wasn't going to do much with the outside. They blanketed their guys. They forced them.
Yeah, they forced them to they forced Mahomes, or I'm sorry, not Mahomes. They forced Lamar to do more. Like they didn't.
They did. They
didn't
forced
try
Lamar,
Henry to run. He got a little bit in the third quarter.
They forced Lamar to do more, but they made it where they were going to have to win with the slot, and they had to win with the tight end. And the slot has been iffy, but Taron Johnson played a great game last week.
Turnovers, they won the turnover battle, 96%.
Ultimately, here the big thing is can you cover the tight end? Isaiah Likely had a very good game against the Bills last week. Mark Andrews had a good game, but if you're going to tell me that the only way that they're moving the ball is to Travis Kelce,
Travis Kelce hadn't really had a good year.
He had a good last game. He had 117 yards against the Ravens or against the Texans. But the Texans are also banged up in the in the linebacker core and in the safety. Yep. So if you're going to tell me that I got to hope Buffalo's going to be able to double and drop somebody, I think they'll be able to manage and prevent Kelce from having a huge game. He did nothing against him earlier in the season.
Yep.
Exact stats for Travis Kelce that game. Actually, the big winner of that game was Noah Gray. Noah Gray had 4 for 23 and 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce had 2 catches for 8 yards. I think the Bills know what's needed. Travis Kelce.
I know you're going to pick the Bills anyway.
Dude, it's not that simple because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm gonna say I think for once this is it. I do think they're gonna do it. My big prediction: Travis Kelce is under 35 receiving yards. Another big prediction: James Cook goes over 80 rushing. Buffalo's going to try to do the same thing they just did with Baltimore. They're going to try to set the run early and force them to defend both ways.
I have a prediction too. I think Josh Allen gets 2 touchdown passes in this game. He didn't throw a touchdown pass last game. Everyone's talking about that. He gets 2. And I also think he gets at least 1 rushing touchdown in this game.
I think that's fair. I could see him going 2-2, honestly. I could see him accounting for 28 points himself and add 1 to a running back.
Because he's selfless, so he'll give it to his running back.
Yeah, he's not going to scream at his tight end who dropped the 2-point conversion because he's a scumbag.
Who screamed at the tight end?
Oh, did you not see the Lamar?
Lamar screamed at his tight end?
Lamar, in the post-game interview, pretty much said to the effects of, we got to stop fucking dropping passes. Like, we know who you're talking about, dude. You're not a good leader. Well, that's what you're saying about your guy who, like, if Josh Allen threw that ball,
there was it wasn't just him. There was other ones.
Yeah, but you know damn well what he's firing at. If that's Josh Allen out there and they're questioning him, Josh's response to me, I got to put the ball in better places. He's not going to blame his guys for dropping the pass. That's not a good leader. Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills, 38-21.
30. Oh, okay. So you got 38 too.
I think they're gonna come out swinging, and they're just they can't do what they did at halftime last week. You can't take the pedal off the gas.
Yeah, they were kind of being more soft on it, which I guess why they were doing it with the Ravens because they didn't want to lose it. But at the same time, that's when Henry started going a little bit with that in the third quarter. He was going up a little bit with some of the yardage. And you don't want to do that. Now, obviously, they don't have to worry about it in this game because they don't really have someone like a Henry.
No, they have Isaiah Pacheco, who has not come back healthy.
But that is something to be concerned about, somewhat. And obviously, I think we both agree the coach, obviously head coach. I mean, I'd still say
it's Andy Reid.
I'd still say it's Andy Reid.
You got to make it where Sean has to prove he belongs in the top 5 coach category. He has to outcoach Andy this game. Because that's been the biggest story is when the playoffs come, Andy outcoaches Sean.
Yeah, and he's been around for a long time. Obviously, he was at the Eagles, didn't win a championship there, but he was obviously always a contender, championship games, stuff like that. So, you know, Andy Reid's he's been here for a while. He's been in this game for a while, coaching. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. That's the game, obviously, I'm almost assuming everyone's looking forward to. But I'm very interested to see what these games come.
I'm not. It's going to be a long-ass time till 6:30 on Sunday.
You'll have the Eagles and
nope,
the Redskins.
I don't care about that. I'll be sweating. I'll be sweating.
You'll have the Eagles and Redskins game to enjoy while you're watching on the build-up for it. But yeah, is there any other predictions we got? Or
I think that's it.
Well, this is it, guys. Enjoy the NFC Championship game if your team is in it. That's watching this. Also, make sure check out Spotify. If you're listening to it on Spotify, make sure to subscribe. If you're looking on the website. And yeah,
shout out to Chicken Dippin'. Hit him up. Get those just in time for the Super Bowl. Great thing if you're eating wings, watching football. Shout out to Jeanette at the Beauty Parlor. Shout out to Charlie at Rebel Nomad Adventure Gear. And shout out to the rest of the Tiki Tribe lineup. But I think that's all I got.
Alright, guys. This is it. Until the Super Bowl. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. He is the Rainy 48. We're out of here. Peace. Enjoy the games, guys.